to this now, and this is currently what is happening. The ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula is currently briefing the media on the outcomes of the National Working Committee at Lutuli House. These are live visuals from there.
We'll continue to intensify solidarity with the people of Palestine, mobilize the widest range of forces around the demand for ceasefire and peace. The Working Committee further considered reports on the ongoing conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and tensions with Rwanda, which remain a cause for serious concern, including the safety of our own soldiers, South African National Defence Force members, deployed in their peacekeeping capacity. Meanwhile, the ANC sends its condolences to the government and people of the DRC following the reported death of 240 people when a boat capsized in Lake Kivu, DRC, on Saturday, the 5th October 2024. The Working Committee noted that Mozambique will hold general elections on the 9th of October 2024 and that the presidential candidates are Daniel Chapo from Frelimo, Osufa Momade Renamo, and Lutero Simango MDM. The ANC reiterates its stance on the historic solidarity with Frelimo, with whom we have shared trenches in the liberation struggle against colonialism and apartheid. The ANC wishes the people of Mozambique free and peaceful elections. Other elections to take place in the region includes Botswana, Wednesday 30th of October, Namibia, 27th November, Tanzania, Wednesday 27th November 2024. We wish our sister parties in this election a great success. We wish Frelimo of Mozambique great success in this election, SWAPO in Namibia, and Chama Chama Pendus in Tanzania, and PDP party in Botswana. As we approach the 100 days of the GNU, the Working Committee observed that the GNU continues to inspire confidence and support from amongst a wide range of political parties and sectors of society, including business. This is reflected in both opinion polls, business and consumer confidence indices, the stock and property markets. The ANC is therefore confident that this augurs well for the stability of the country following the outcome of the 2024 national and provincial elections. The ANC will continue to take leading responsibility in affairs of the GNU to the extent that it must help government to deliver on the promise for better life for all, with service delivery, job creation, access to education, access to basic health care, combating the high cost of living, and growing the economy amongst highlights of this GNU. These positive outlooks and developments on the ANC-led GNU have catalyzed and strengthened the foundation of the efforts spearheaded by the President to build social compacts between government, labor, business, and civil society. They also bode well for efforts to mobilize much-needed resources and investments domestically and internationally. The NWC noted the developments on SRC elections and call on continued building of infrastructure capacity of the NSFAS to discharge its mandate without hindrance. The Working Committee further noted the successful convening of the National Conference that duly elected its leadership. We congratulate SASCO in the SRC election for victories SASCO has scored with the PYA in the SRC elections. The Working Committee received a report on the ANC membership system, and it was confident that the revamped system will ensure dynamic organization consistent with the broad agenda on organizational renewal. Our membership system was down for some time in operation, by January 8 next year in in the Western Cape, a venue which will announce in the Western Cape, but preferably in the Cape Metro where the January 8th will take place. We will launch and unveil some of the new features of our membership system is opening up the organization against manipulation, against gatekeeping, opening up the ANC as a mass party to be accessible to everybody. Bulk buying of membership will be something of the past when we intensify this membership. This membership system is linked to a program as much as we attract quantity, numbers of people joining the organization, but it's linked also to a program of political education. This program of political education is very much important in terms of qualitative development of ANC membership. The Working Committee also received update on the political education with emphasis of developing the kind of cadreship consistent with organizational renewal. In October, the ANC's foundational program of political education for the ANC members. On legal matters, the NWC received update on the case with regards to the deployment committee records. The ANC will study the judgment and chart the way forward. On repatriation, the Working Committee received update on the repatriation of fallen comrades, which has been ongoing since the dawn of freedom and democracy in 1994. The current repatriation of fallen comrades who died during the course of the struggle against apartheid colonialism. The current program involves comrades who were buried in Zimbabwe and Zambia, which had received impetus from the announcement by the president that their remains will be repatriated. Notable figures among those who were the former Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Dumano, as well as Florence Muposho and Basil February. This process was, however, disrupted by COVID-19 pandemic. There are about 1,000 people and combatants, comrades, who must be repatriated. And there is a misconception in the public that the ANC is not repatriating everyone. There is a need to get proper information of everyone that needs to be repatriated. This program continues to unfold and more updates will be made in due course. We want to commend our government for undertaking and implementing this important program in the course of our liberation struggle. The ANC will continue to attend to the programs of organizational renewal, with most regions having convened regional meetings and briefed on the GNU and the outcomes of the NEC Lekgotla. Critical also is to continue in the alliance and providing leadership to society by engaging all stakeholders and sectors in the ANC-led national transformation agenda. The engagement through the special NEC meeting that will look into the state of organization, the Alliance Political Council, as well as the upcoming Liberation Movement Summit, among others, will constitute part of the ANC program. We welcome, as the National Working Committee, the developments around the convening of the National Dialogue, and that all social partners and the civil society across our country are being engaged, and there seems to be a consensus on the direction this national dialogue must take. The ANC support the national dialogue. The National Working Committee also reflected on developments in Gauteng, which includes Tshwane. There have been ongoing engagements with various parties on all metros in Gauteng, this being Johannesburg, Tshwane, and Ekurhuleni. The Working Committee received a detailed report on Tshwane, given the level of deterioration of service delivery and governance in the city. The Working Committee fully supports the need to put in place the type of government of local unity that can urgently address the pressing concerns of the people across the city. This must be the type of government that prioritizes all residents of Tshwane and not only some sections of the population. The approach of the DA that we should either bring back BRIC or nothing is not acceptable to the National Working Committee. The ANC is engaging all parties that are keen to work with us to set up an inclusive, viable, and effective coalition government that puts the people of Tshwane first before party political interest. The ANC's continuing engagement with various parties to finalize the matter of the mayor and the executive team. We are also discussing a program that must be rolled out by the new government in the form of a comprehensive minimum program. We are confident that working with other parties, we will elect a new mayor of Tshwane tomorrow. We have noted the speculation in the media and social media platforms about the correspondence to the of the ANC Gauteng PC, Comrade Panyaza Lusufi. This correspondence deals with internal organizational matters, which unfortunately, because people are ill-disciplined, they've decided to leak the correspondence to their friends in the social media. This correspondence deals with internal organizational matters, which should be dealt with as such. We therefore condemn in the strongest possible terms disinformation efforts that rely on internal information peddling to achieve particular ends and project the ANC in negative light. And we wish to state that the ANC will speak for itself, not through sources, faceless sources. We did write and invite Comrade Panyaza, expressing concern about these public utterances on matters relating to the GNU and the coalitions in local municipalities. This consent was premised on the backdrop of the resolutions of the National Executive Committee in this regard. Comrade Panyaza, like all other comrades, presented himself to the national officials as requested and got counseling, but at the same time got an opportunity to explain his part of the story. Comrade Panyaza presented himself to the officials of the ANC and provided an explanation that was accepted by the officials. This is consistent with the organizational culture of the ANC, which requires of us to give comrades a hearing when there is a reasonable apprehension that their conduct may place the ANC in disrepute. In relation to KwaZulu-Natal, the NWC affirmed its earlier decision to return to the province and provide feedback to the structures on its assessment of the state of the organization in the province. We met also with Comrade Chairperson of the province, Comrade Siboniso Duma, together with Comrade Provincial Secretary, Comrade Becky Mtolo. They were briefing the NWC on the developments of one of the regions in the province in relation to the decisions the PC of KwaZulu-Natal have taken and as a form of political intervention in that particular region. So the report that they were summoned and called to meet the officials to face a disciplinary action together with Panyaza are unfounded. And at the same time, they are simply peddling of lies. When a member of the ANC is subjected to a disciplinary process, is not called to the officials meeting. The officials meeting, when you are called for political engagement and for exchange of political views. officials of the ANC are not a disciplinary committee. And if we call you to the officials, you will argue prejudice when you get to the National Disciplinary Committee. The officials are a political structure in the organization. They engage on political matters. So Panyaza is a leader of the ANC in Gauteng. So if there are perceptions through his own utterances that lead to perceptions that there is conflict between the province and national, we have a responsibility politically to engage. And if some of the utterances that have been uttered are way off the line in terms of the line as adopted by the National Executive Committee, we need to engage with that. Disciplinary action can be taken without consultation with the officials of the ANC. When we charge anyone, and those who are we don't seek approval from the officials. That is done. So these distortions that somebody was called and to be disciplined, and he scored 2-0 to the SG, are basically a total distortion of the facts on the table. And Panyaza explained himself to the officials about the issues that we raised with him as the officials, and that was it. And his explanation from where he come from, that he was distorted from podcasts he attended and the utterances he has made in public, he clarified himself to those issues. And we don't doubt his bona fides to this extent. So we have accepted his explanation, but we have the responsibility as the ANC that discipline and democratic centralism run supreme. Where somebody can just wake up and do things and to the detriment of the organization. And we did not have to second guess Panyaza. We needed to engage with him, not through the media and what he could have said in the media, which he can say, like he said, that he was completely misunderstood and misrepresented. And his positions on issues of coalitions and GNU are in line with the positions taken by the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. So that is the position with regard to these matters. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Comrade SG. At this point, I am going to start.
All right, ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula briefing members of the media at Luthuli House.